Hello, and welcome to my tiny tarot practice. I'm Amelia Fruby, and this podcast documents my tiny tarot practice, where we are exploring the tarot card by card, beginning with each suit of the minor arcana. Today's card is the Ten of Pentacles. In the Rider-Waite-Smith edition of the deck, the Ten of Pentacles features a really lush scene. We have a gate that divides the card between foreground and background. And we have what appears to be a family of sorts. We have two figures, one with a small child, kind of pulling at their robe. We have two dogs. We have an older figure seated in the foreground. And then through the gate behind, there is kind of bright sky and buildings and trees in the background. It's an interesting card to me because it brings some really obvious visuals and then people interpret it in so many different ways. So I think there's certainly something to this being the 10 of Pentacles, to having been on the journey from ace to 10 or 2 to 10, depending on how you think of the progression of the suit. And now landing with the 9, we were at this sort of lushness of certainty and one person amidst a lush garden of grapevines. And now we see a similar lushness almost, but it's with multiple people and animals. And we see also different generations. And so I think this card can represent a similar certainty and abundance, but located in community and in family, whether that be nuclear biological family or not, just any sense of tight-knit community that feels like family, and that our abundance and certainty can be located there. Perhaps we evolve from locating it in ourselves to locating it in community with others. In 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel Pollack really takes that farther to be not simply like locating abundance and magic and goodness in our community, but actually in the world of the universe itself. And her interpretation of the card is very much about the ways that magic surrounds us at all times. She really points to the fact that there are 10 pentacles floating, what she identifies as the Kabbalistic tree of life throughout, kind of in the front of this image. Whereas in many of the other Pentacles cards, we see the figures holding the pentacles, touching the pentacles, engaging with them. And this one, the pentacles seem like it's almost like the figures in the card are oblivious to the pentacles. And so Rachel Pollack takes that to mean that there is magic in the mundane all around us, and we often take it for granted. So I think that's a really powerful interpretation of this card. Jessica Dorr in Tarot for Change identify something similar, interpreting this card in terms of the anima mundi, or the world soul, the way that our souls are all intertwined, are located in the world around us, not so much in, one physical, discrete body. And so I think that this card really speaks to the ways that we are surrounded by who we are and what we need, and that we can locate wealth both in ourselves and in the world around us, and the way that we are benefited by attending to that world. And I think there's also something in this card that's really important about this sort of gate symbol here, and the way we perhaps move from one stage of consciousness to the next. And I think 10s are often about that. As we get to the 10 in any suit in the tarot, we're moving from a sort of everyday journey of the minor arcana into the court cards, which are a slightly different relationship to each of these suits or elements. So this is a card I intend to sit with for much longer. I think there's a lot to unfold for me with the 10 of Pentacles, especially after sharing how much I love the 9 of Pentacles in my last episode. And it actually, in this moment, it's really reminding me of something I was just saying to another friend last week, which is that a sort of, I don't even know, a little phrase I've been reciting in my head, which is, my community's wealth is mine and mine is theirs. And I'm realizing now that perhaps that is the message of the Ten of Pentacles. It's what the Ten of Pentacles has to share with us, is that our wealth is never individual. Like, individual wealth is such a product of capitalism and of this economic system that we live in and that oppresses us. And wealth has always been located in community, historically, mythologically, archetypally, I would say. And so we can rediscover that through the Ten of Pentacles. So again, my community's wealth is mine and mine is theirs. My friend's wealth is mine and mine is theirs. My family's wealth is mine and mine is theirs. Your wealth is mine and mine is yours. That's what I'll leave you with today in our exploration of the Ten of Pentacles. As always, if you enjoy this podcast, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you would like to reference any of the books that I've talked about in this episode or others, you can find a link in the show notes to our bookshop page, where I curate and I'm constantly adding amazing books, journals, decks, gifts around the tarot. I have a lot of fun curating that page. And if you make a purchase through it, I will receive a small affiliate payment that helps me keep this podcast going. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Today, I leave you with the abundance of wealth in your community, the abundance of everything that permeates our shared universe. Bye for now.